Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the charts behind me, which have all been requested. Doing ticker request live here now on Sunday evening, March 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Do it every Sunday. Happy to take requests. Happy to have you guys here. Nameless, I see your comment about SFIX and Matterport and Fastly. So I will add them here. Let's see. So FIX, adding that, and Matterport. Yeah, I was doing weekly videos on Matterport and stuff like, and a ton of tickers, but then I think I just fell out of sync with the algorithm, and things stopped getting promoted, and also I kind of got a little burnt out. I really pushed myself pretty hard in February to put out a lot of videos and grow the channel. Now very close to full monetization, so I'm excited about that, but it's a lot of work. And then so Vincent, I see that you're asking any news yet. What news are you referring to? I know that you requested FaZe, I believe, so I can go over that real quick. But yeah, this one looks to me like potentially, I mean, it's actually been pretty surprising how flat it's been. But yeah, I mean, I tend to avoid, or not necessarily avoid, but the squeeze plays. Yeah, because just look at that. This is going back to July 2022. Yeah, so I don't know. This seems, yeah, and 18 cents, it's been halted. Why has it been halted? I'm surprised to see that in the after hours. Yeah, it says March 7th, halted. So did it even trade on? Yeah, so I guess I need to look at the news for this. News on FaZe Holdings now under game.v. Let's see what this article says about it. I guess just some pointers. FaZe is in a merger. Okay, yeah, are they going to, is it ticker symbol GAME? Is that what they're going to? Now under game.v. Well, here, I think a better way to do this is add symbol over here. Game.v. Is it game and FaZe merging? It says GameSquare Holdings. Yeah, this looks like there's a little more to it than FaZe. So I guess it'd probably be good for me to go over the game chart then. This one's not halted. I assume that, let's see. Yeah, GameSquare completes transformative FaZe clan merger. Tip ranks, it'll be a pop-up and I won't be able to get much information from it. Yeah, most of these articles are ones that, pop up into Chrome and then I don't have access to much information from them. But yeah, so I feel like this is the chart to be looking at when considering FaZe. And yeah, there's some stuff maybe over here, but it's all, going lower. Let's see. But this is, I do think that like this is going to be like for it to get above $2 is going to be pretty important. But it's good that it's putting in like higher lows and stuff. And this does look like it served as support over here. And so, yeah, I mean, that's been So I would think that $1.46 is a pretty important level to be paying attention to because, you know, it had a couple breakdowns below it, but short-lived. And then here it looks like this was kind of a fake out breakdown. And so, yeah, I mean, it's held above that level pretty good. And then there's some consolidation, you know, above it in this range up to like $1.64, 65. So yeah, I mean, so I guess with it being at 173 right now, I would think, you know, really just looking at this volume profile. Let's see, taking a step back. How did I have that lined up before? Yeah, so 160, like what's the high here? 164. Yeah, so I would think that it really actually, you know, just thinking about this, needing to get closes above prior highs. This high, it was 164. This high was 164. So that's going to be a pretty important level. If this, you know, has broken out, that would become clear. If it did pull back to 164 and if it tested that as support and held, getting maybe, you know, if it got one close below 164, not too big of a deal, but then look for the next close. If you get a close lower than that previous low, then that would confirm the breakdown and it's likely going lower. But if it pulls back, I would think 164 could be like a nice level to add into if the expectation is going up, like, because I don't know anything about the company and stuff. But yeah, I would think like these two levels are important ones to pay attention to. 146 and 164. Easy to get confused, I guess, too. But yeah, I mean, this nice volume shelf there. Where it could go to the upside, let's see. So from, you know, like the high here, 198, down to the low here, which was 138. Let's see. I'm just trying to get this lined up just right. Yeah, it's gonna be off no matter what. 38. Okay, there. And so, like the 1618 extension from that is 235. What does that seem to correspond with? That might suggest, let's see, the high over here, 230. Highs over here, like above this. So yeah, I mean, this getting into this consolidation, you had some resistance here. So yeah, that's going to be getting above here and holding, like really, yeah, like above, like this high here, 198, getting above that, closing above it, and testing it as support. I think that would be really key. But I think that it could, you know, potentially be moving up to 135. But I do think that like the price action over here picks up beginning around $2. So if it can get above that and hold, I think that would be good, but it might get rejected from $2. And maybe that would create a double top. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, I mean, if it pulls back here, like really, I think the key level here is 164. The 382 is 160.9. So maybe that's another one to pay attention to. But I would think that, you know, it'd be good for it to be holding the 50% retracement at 168, maybe having some wicks down to 164, maybe lower, but no closes below that level. But yeah, so some potential there. And so, yeah, I will then switch over to one of Nameless's requests, which is SFIX, which is Stitch Fix. Okay, just a gap down there after earnings. Yeah, so this is kind of intriguing. Well, I'm just going to learn a little bit about them. Profile. Stitch Fix delivers personalization to its clients. The company operates in the United States and United Kingdom. The company offers merchandise at multiple price points and styles from established brands, as well as its own private labels. The company offers two types of fix scheduling. Auto ship, where a client can elect to auto ship fixes every 2 to 3 weeks, monthly by monthly. Yeah. So they Everybody's base. Okay, so let's see. Schedule a one-time fix at any time, either instead of or in addition to utilizing the auto ship option. Yeah, so it's just like a merchandise place, like a marketplace, I think. But yeah, broke below here, below these lows. So I think those will be tough to get back to. And then, yeah, ooh, this is kind of interesting. It's maybe not the best, but yeah, like to connect this to that, that's kind of a bad inverse head and shoulders. That would, yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking with this because it didn't go up. And that would be, you know, not good with that blip up there. And so, yeah, I think it's interesting. It had like multiple tests of kind of like a trend line here. Let's see if I can try and get this lined up approximately. Those wicks. I'm going to remove the volume profile. And so, yeah, that is pretty cool. I love it when charts do this. It's so neat. It's like I'm going to zoom in so I can try to get them lined up just right. So like over here, no closes below it. Maybe there's this open was a little bit below it. It's not a perfect line. And then no close below it here. You know, testing it multiple times. And then it just broke it down. And so, yeah, this, well, that's a trend line. It's not exactly horizontal. That does make me think this is kind of like a descending wedge. And that, you know, we've had these tests at the top, tests at the bottom, but it's really just like repeatedly hitting that bottom level. Eventually it's going to break. So I do think, you know, whatever the high was here, 295, I think that's going to be a tough level, really getting back above 3. I think it's going to be a tough one to get above. But with there being this gap up there and the fill being up here at like 320, maybe that could move up to reclaim that, fill that gap, and then pull back and then test this line as support. But yeah, so maybe it would need to consolidate under this a little bit, form a bull flag before it could pop up. I'd imagine get rejected here because there's going to be a lot of, you know, that's consolidation, sellers waiting right there. And so, yeah, I mean, I could see it kind of hovering underneath the line about under $3 and then make a break for this. So that seems intriguing to me. But I do think that it would probably bump into resistance here. Yeah, and so, yeah, I mean, it did, you know, after this big drop, it did kind of, you know, this is a down 21% on Tuesday, then Wednesday down 6.37%. Then here, actually up a little bit from that, could be suggesting a bottom or reversal with this spinning top. But then on Friday, we get a big wick up, and that is, you know, that does suggest that there's probably more downside to go. So maybe like right around 240, 241, maybe that's a good level to consider keeping an eye on, and maybe that's a good level to add. So let's see the open, yeah, 241. So right there. Rivian, yeah, I'll look up Rivian. Rivian to the moon. Yeah, I think actually, I don't know if I shared it, but it was covered on the, like, what's it called? The Bottom Line, which is a series or show on verified investing, and Benjamin Poole went over it. I'll post it to the community page after this, if I haven't already. But yeah, he goes over Rivian, and I'll go over the chart here in just a minute. But yeah, with this, I feel like this could be suggesting that there is going to be a pullback, that it needs, yeah, like there's this, consolidation above there. There's all this price, a little bit of price action above there. And so I think that this might need to pull back to like 241. And yeah, but I do think that there could be like a rebound here with this. Is that the 52-week low is 235. Yeah, and it does have a fair amount of history, it looks like. Put on the weekly time frame. Yeah, but it is, at all-time lows. And I wonder, maybe there's a trend line here that would suggest where there might be some resistance or something. So here's going from the low 1448. Oh, crap. Yeah, just kind of approximate there and see. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I don't know if anything from that's actually valid or useful, but it does seem like there was some stuff there. Maybe price could be going up there. And yeah, I mean, if this is like going from the top here to down here, yeah, maybe it could be, that's pretty crazy that with current price, yeah, down here. Yeah, I wonder if, going back to $5, $4.99 is a possibility. But yeah, I just like looking on the daily time frame, I would maybe keep a lookout for 241 and see how, if you get multiple closes below 241, because really, I mean, like the lowest close here has been, see the lowest close, 241.5. Getting a close below 241 would be lower than that. And so if you did get closes below that, that could, not be so good. But really, I guess, as far as the confirmation of the breakdown, you'd want to look for a close below 235 and then get a following close below that next low. But I think that 241 is a good level to keep an eye on. And yeah, I'll add Rivian up here. And I'll just kind of bounce around between the different requests that I've gotten. I'll look at Rivian real quick because I don't think it should take too much time. Yeah, so with this, what I've got to reduce some of these levels, I think. But I mean, actually, that's pretty interesting that these lines match up there. I don't know when did I did the last Rivian video. Maybe on Thursday, I can't remember exactly. But if I just do like a trend line from this low to the lows over here, I might make that line thick. And basically what Ben was suggesting was that, definitely an upside target to like around 15 with this gap fill, but we could be seeing a pullback to test this uptrend again. I'm just gonna gray this out so it's not obscuring too much of the view. But yeah, like so I think that we did see this nice big green candle, almost 13.5% on Thursday, and I think that's when I did the video. I was excited about this. Yeah, oh yeah, because that's when they released the R2. They're now taking orders, I believe, and then they released the images of the R3. But then it looks like spinning top, red candle. However, this is interesting, did get a close above that previous high. So this could be, a fake out spinning top or something, because the high on the 7th was 1274, the close 1278, so just above that. So this actually might not be so bad. So I guess I'd look for like 1258 or whatever the close was on Thursday, 1251. So look for those levels to be respected, getting closes above them. But, like to be moving higher, we're going to need to get, of course, closes above the high here. That's at, 1364. But I think that the range of like 1250 to 1258 is a good one to be looking at to hold that support. But I do think that, because it has, you know, tested this uptrend, it might test that again. And maybe what we could do is do a Fibonacci retrace following this pullback, do it up to here, 64. See how close I can get to it. What was the high, little low down here? Okay, so that's lined up just right. And so let's see, this 618 is right around this green line, 1173. So I need to maybe rewatch that video. I don't know what I was saying in it. But I mean, I think that Rivian is most likely going back to fill this gap, but it might retrace to one of these levels, and that could coincide with the 618 at 1173. That's similar to this green line at 1168, which corresponds with something historical. I guess like that was at the time the all-time low over here. And so, yeah. I mean, like I have a position in Rivian, and I don't know exactly what I'm doing to start the week. But for me, my average is, you know, 15 or something, and maybe it's in the 14s now. It's probably 15. It's been the 15s, I think. But so, like, I mean, if it does continue up, I want to be able to at least trim some of my position when it gets up to here, so I can then buy back those shares on dips, just get my average down. But I also don't want to buy it. Like, I want to be adding here in case it does go up, but I also want to be able to add a lot more if it does pull back. So what I might be doing is just like daily buy, is just add another share. I do very slow dollar cost averaging, and so that could pull back to 618, and then I'd probably go more heavy there, because yeah, I mean, I'd done a video where I, you know, suggested it could be going down to 925, and it did not seem like that the following few days. So I definitely think it could be pulling back to like 1170, right around there. Maybe 1175 or 1180, you know, so order gets filled. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's definitely going to 15 at some point. And yeah, I mean, Rivian just seems like it's a really, I mean, backed by Amazon, and they seem to be doing like really good vehicles and stuff. So, oh, you said Rivian looking stronger than Tesla. Yeah, I'd believe that. I feel like, and also like the thing that's interesting too about Tesla is they've been such a dominator, but now it's like their market share needs to be divvied up amongst all these other companies that are now leading in EVs. And so yeah, not looking too good there. I haven't looked at this in a while, but yeah, actually I did do a video, I think, when it had this drop, and I was suggesting it'd be coming down to like 177, I believe. Maybe I said 178. But yeah, now below that, for me, I don't have any Tesla shares. I've always wanted to, really, like when I first got interested in investing, like probably in like 2010, maybe 2009, I had been looking at Tesla, and it's like, nah, it's too risky, all of this stuff. And so I've always wanted to be a Tesla shareholder, but I want to do it when it's at a discount. And, you know, up here, not really at a discount. If it comes down to 145, I will be happy. I will be ready for that. This gap here, let's fill that. But yeah, at the same time though, I mean, here it's putting in lower lows, but relative to over here, that's still a higher low, maybe coming down to this point. Yeah, 152.37. So, yeah. And cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. If you watched the Oscars, I hope you enjoyed them. Or if you're watching them while watching me, I hope you're enjoying them. But yeah, stocks are fun. All right, and so I will then switch back to Matterport. And yeah, man, one thing that I need to do, I need to kind of take a step back, and I do all these retracements, and I kind of get attached to them just to kind of see how things play out. But like, I really just need to be cleaning them up. And I think like the Nat Gas video is kind of a nice example of that. Like these retracements always need to be kind of evolving. And so on that note, what I might do, I hope this is all right with you guys. I'm just going to delete all these levels, all these retracements, and just start fresh a little bit. I remember these purple lines. Yeah, and so let's see what's interesting here. Potential, like double bottom here. And that is a higher low. So I think that's something important to be paying attention to. Also, we didn't fill this gap up here. So let's see, this is 184. Get it just right. All right, and then over here, the low, 189. All right, so there's that. So I think that's going to be an important level to be paying attention to. Of course, we could be pulling back and retesting that. And then maybe these lows are something to connect as well. I'm just going to do this rough because I imagine it's not going to be that useful. But did act as a little bit of support there, and current price is well below that. But I guess, a thing to consider, if we do break below this line, maybe it'd go to that downtrend, as that has acted as support with this, 1 day blip below it. And so, yeah, because maybe I'll refer to this later and I should fix them to place. So I'm not assuming they are and screwing up, basing things on a line that's not defined well. That's based on the two lows there. And so the only time that we've seen two closes below, these two fake outs. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe that's, if we do break below right around current price, if we do break below 197, and this actually, that we couldn't get above this candle, it's maybe not so good. So I'd look for the open here, 201, also the high on the 5th. So I'd look for that, also corresponding with the, let's see, the low here, 201. So 201 is an important level, seems to be. All right, so there's that. Yep, got rejected from there. So I do think we might be getting a pullback. And let's see. If I want to do a retracement, I'd probably do it from the high here, following the bounce that was right before it, from here to there. And do this to down to 189. And that is, let's see, 223. That's right. Okay, so I can lock that in place. I'm just going to make sure sometimes they round it differently and stuff. Yeah, so with that, 197 does look like it's respecting that. So 197 is a pretty important level. Hopefully it can hold that. Hopefully it continues higher and gets a close above 201 or, the high on Friday, which was 203. Getting multiple closes above that would be pretty good. But, yeah, I mean, because it has really just, reclaimed this 236, so hopefully it can hold that. But yeah, this really broke down. This is one that, I tried to not add in too many of the ones that I cover, but I have a small position in Matterport, pretty small. So if I wanted to, if I see, I feel like if I find a really compelling, if I'm really compelled by something, I need to get better at going heavier in it. Like this, I think that it's still kind of iffy. It could be coming back to test this line. And if it doesn't hold that, it could break lower. So I don't want to be too heavy in this, but maybe it's starting to reclaim these levels. One that I think is super cool, wasn't that popular, but I feel like this is, I'm so proud of my analysis in this, but I wish I would have had more conviction in it. I did a video on this beautiful inverse head and shoulders with a price target of right around $4, and saying that 250 is a good level to be accumulating. And so I was doing that, But then, I guess I just kind of got restless, and I was just trimming at like, 10% profit or whatever. And man, it almost went to $6 a share. That's just crazy. But yeah, that's a 2x right there easily. Yeah, which I didn't hold on to long enough. I should have had more conviction in my analysis. And this was something, if you look at the thumbnail of that video, beautiful inverse head and shoulders. I had a lot of conviction in it. But then, it's like following, I think I made the video right around here. I think this is like January 9th. Exactly. I know the date. And so I made that video, and then it started to pull back, and it's like, oh, maybe it's, cup and handle or something, or maybe I'm wrong. And then it comes back up, tests it, and then it starts doing the same thing again. It's like, well, is that just like a nut? Is that a cup within a cup? Like here's a cup, handle, cup, and then breakout. I should have had more conviction in that and just waited for $4 at least. But, it's a good example, good learning, being patient and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, getting to, I did the video right around here. And so getting to a retest of that's like 2 months, basically 50 days, 33 trading days, 32, to get to like retest that and then break above it. And then to get to 4, that was, yeah, I mean, it's like 2 months. I should have been more patient, and I should have, really scooped up shares here and just forgotten about it, had conviction in that. But what can you do? I'm proud of the analysis. That's a good thing, that my analysis was pretty good. But so I need to find more things like this where I feel really strongly about the analysis. Oh, and Canoo. Hey, Jose. Yeah, I was going to do a Canoo video today, but I've been spreading myself too thin the past month, and so I just kind of need to take a break. I might do a Canoo video after this stream. I'm thinking I might just do it during pre-market, though, when I get up. And, yeah, because everything's been, all the levels have been adjusted on that. And I have to say, I did establish a small position when it was at 10.5 cents. But then I had a small position at 100 shares to 10.50. And I got kind of, I don't know, I guess weirded out by it being a 1 to 23 reverse split. Like, why didn't they do 1 to 20? That's what I was expecting. And so, really are those additional 3 shares produced going to make that much of a difference? And so I just feel like this is something that, I don't know. I worry that it's just going to continue to bleed. And so, I feel like it's pretty risky at this point. But, I trimmed my position. This was at 8 cents. So I lost $2.50 on it. But it's just yeah, but I don't want to hold my shares and then have to deal with the, 23, the odd number there. And, it didn't, I said here that this looked like a bear flag, and then it broke down. This is Monday, I think. Yeah. And it's just I'll wait to see if there's a bounce, and then it doesn't bounce. And then basically it's just here, I'm just I'm just going to cut it. So that's not my best decisions there. I could have waited at least for, the high here was, 250. So whatever that is. Yeah. I mean, the math of this is just a pain in the ass. Let's see. I got my phone in my pocket. Easier than pulling up the calculator app on the computer. But let's see. Yeah, 250 on that day was the high. 2.5 divided into 23 parts. It's 10.8 cents. Yeah, so I mean that yeah, I mean I could have broken even with that. But I just realized, I'm spread too thin in other positions I have, having a pretty small position in this. But yeah, I mean, and then look at this, these 2 wicks here, that's, if I would have, been I'll sell when I break even, I mean, for me, I just wanted to be out of it. But these wicks got rejected from this level here, 241, right around there, where we're getting all of these closes or opens right around that level in the formation of this bear flag. And, it's struggling to get above that. So I would really look for closes above, let's see, what's the low on this day? Basically 240. I think the close on this day is probably 241. 241.7. But yeah, I mean, this really just where this wick comes down, this low here, that's where you got the most overlap there. You just got that little bit of extra wick coming down. And so that's 240.1. And so I think that's going to be, I mean, it has acted as resistance. And so, let's see, yeah, the low, yep, 240.1. So that's going to be a tough level to get above. If I put the volume profile, I mean, you see that right there. And so, I mean, maybe this ends up moving higher tomorrow, start of the week. And then I think, like reclaiming 261.6. I had done this retracement earlier today, thinking about doing the video, but I realized I needed to give myself a little more, time on the weekend. Yeah, so I don't know. This just seems really, at this point, kind of risky. I mean, if you have held a position for a while, yeah, I mean, I wonder if this is actually, I'm not used to doing such long channels. But yeah, I mean, this right now, it's like, held this top part of the channel, a few breaks below. These are like all dip buying opportunities, basically. Then it breaks down to the bottom part of the channel. And now we're in the top part of it, so yeah, I mean, it just seems risky to me. Like, at least for myself, I don't know that this is worth it anymore. Yeah, I mean, and also there are just so many EV stocks, and the ones trading in the cents ranges. Like, because I'm more heavily invested in Fisker, so it's like, well, I can't spread myself so thin with all of these. But yeah, reclaiming 241, really, let's round that up. Getting multiple closes above that. But really, I mean, we've got these 2 wick highs now, so we need to be getting closes above those. And so that would be like high 251, basically. So want to be getting closes above there. Right, that part. So yeah, I think that this has just gotten, like, with the reverse split, with it being 1 to 23, that just like rubs me the wrong way. Like, why did they need to do 23? Why couldn't they have just done 20? Like, those 3 extra shares are going to keep it above $1 for longer. So yeah, I mean, that just seems odd to me. And yes, Sarah, I will go over any that was requested. I do have it up here. Oh, you're saying, Vincent, are you saying that you think I did the right thing as far as GOEV, Canoo? I mean, I feel bad about it because it's one of the videos that I've been doing that's one of the stocks that gets pretty good views. It's like I want to keep covering it, but just looking at this, it just seems like, I mean, if you, in your portfolio, if you want to budget for a risky play that might go to 0, maybe this could be that one. But, having held Lordstown Motors, ticker symbol RIDE, yeah, it scares me as well. Just like, why 1 to 23? Like, I just looked at the price of it around 8 cents or whatever it was. Yeah, and in my analysis in last week's video suggesting 7 cents. So, I mean, I pulled the plug at 8 cents thinking it might go to 7 and it might go lower than that. And then I don't want to be in a position where it's like I want to be getting my average down. I had a position, and I don't even know if it's up here anymore, in Lordstown Motors. And Sarah, I will get to any in just a second. Sorry. Yeah, it's listed as W here. And Q, this is one that's probably delisted. This stopped trading. Yeah, why is this still trading? I don't really understand this. It's RIDEQ. What does it say? Yeah, over the counter. But yeah, I mean, I don't know when I was trading this, but you know, up here, and then it's just like bleeding, and then it's just like, well, I mean, I'm like 60% down. I don't feel like things are looking good for the company. And so I'm going to cut my losses. And then, like, yeah, I mean, I got some money back for that. And so yeah, and this, let's see, what's this reverse split? 1 to 15. So yeah, I mean, this, you know, they tried to save the company here. And yeah, so I don't know. I think it's a really risky one. What do I think about Fisker? I will get to Fisker in a second, Vincent. I just should go over any real quick because that was requested by a number of people, and Sarah just asked about it. And so this, yeah, actually, I haven't really looked at it since I did the last analysis. I imagine during a stream or maybe the rough cut requests. And yeah, so Vincent's saying he thinks that Fisker will pop soon. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I feel like they've just had a lot of bearish news, and it's like a discount now, but at the same time, I've accumulated more shares than like I feel comfortable with holding something that's trading at such a low price. So I do look forward to trimming my positions, so then I can add back more on dips or, you know, whatever. But yeah, and so looking at any here, yeah, let's see, I think I did I do the rough cuts request? I'm just going to pull it up on my phone to see. Or, you know, I could pull it up on Chrome if you guys want to see. Yeah, so I'm not just, I'll do that. Let's see. And this, I really like this. I don't know what you guys think about the thumbnails that I'm doing. I'm just trying to have fun with them. But let's see, I'm going to go to over here. And actually I want to go to my channel. Let's see, videos. When did I do the, where's the rough cuts request? Rough cut requests. So that was not when I did it. Yeah, you must have done it last Sunday, but the rough cut requests before that, I believe I did cover Sphere, yeah, here. And so the 12 days ago, yeah, and so, oh, yeah, probably when this channel, I probably did it up to this channel, which was the 26th, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 12 days ago. Yeah, so that's right. I probably did the analysis here. So it does look like, and I wonder if I cautioned, I probably did. I'm pretty sure I cautioned in that video about it testing this uptrend, which potentially looks nice, but it's getting multiple taps of it. It's eventually going to break. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful. I did not partake in this at all, but I did notice this, and it just seemed a little sketchy. And now, though, that it does look like it's found support at a level, the 786 at a price of $1.70.5, green candle after testing it multiple days. Maybe it has found a bottom. And so I find that pretty interesting. And let's see, what's a good way to look at this a little closer, maybe from the high here. You know, and you could do this like these Fibonacci's. Somebody was asking me to do like a tutorial on like using Webull. That's the platform that I use, and doing this charting and stuff. And I need to make that video on it. I don't think it will perform that well, so I kind of don't want to make the video. But I feel like the best way to learn how to do this kind of stuff is just by like watching other people doing it and emulating it. And that's kind of what I've done, learning a lot from like Gareth Soloway and stuff, just like by watching his videos. But like, so you could take it from the high here and down to here, but because you did see, you know, a dip here and then a rally, dip here, then a rally. I don't know how valid that is. So really, I mean, I feel like taking it from the, you know, rejection of this level here to going down there, I think that's a better way to do this. And so that's really just approximate. Maybe I should do this exact though, because this does get requested a lot. Let's see, what's the low here? Okay, so I'm just gonna adjust these. Let's see, 260 and 269.4. Cool. Yeah, so, and then that did get rejected, it looks like, from the 236. So if it can get above and close above, ideally the high from Friday, which was $1.95, but if it can start to hold the 236 at $1.91, I think that could be really good for it. And this could be a dip buying opportunity. But since it has broken down, if it can't hold above 191, this could be, some bearish consolidation. Maybe it would continue lower. Let's see other things that kind of correspond with that. I think maybe the volume profile. No, there's actually not too much there. It's kind of surprising. I guess there's this gap here. But, I'm just thinking that there's this, you see this consolidation here. So maybe it just zoomed in more. Yeah, you start to get the shelf up here around the 50% retracement. That's at like right around 215. But yeah, I mean, if it can reclaim 191 as support, does seem like that could be some support. And then there's not too much above it until, yeah, so this, like what I would think would happen here is if it can reclaim the 236, consolidate here, that would be like a little mini bull flag. And then it could maybe run up to the 50%, get rejected there, but then pull back to find support at the 382 at 204. So maybe that's an interesting way to play this. But I'd look for, you don't want to see closes below 169.4. Like a new close, a close lower than this low. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be important to keep an eye on for like Monday and Tuesday to see about that. And then, but yeah, definitely, it was testing this uptrend. So I'm proud of my analysis for that and cautioning about this breaking down and that it happened like 2 days after that. So that's pretty cool as far as the chart goes. But yeah, whenever there's something that's being tested multiple times, like this uptrend, I mean, it's kind of rough. It's just based on the low here from December 11th. I don't know if you can, yeah, Ed's not in the way there. And then also the low here from January 23rd, I believe. It actually doesn't look like it intersects exactly with that. Maybe it should actually be over here. Maybe that's drawn off a little bit, Let's see. Is it? Yeah, it's not locked in place, so I didn't draw it perfectly. And yeah, so maybe I should do that just so I don't bump into this issue again. So the low here, 111, and then the low, maybe I should do it here, 166. So 111 and 166. Cool, that's it. Lock that into place. But yeah, I mean, got to fake out here. That's why you need to see, you see one close below it. Okay, it hasn't broken yet. You need to get that confirmation. Then the next day you get this big green candle, bullish engulfing candle. And so that's a fake out there. And then here, this, yeah, I mean, again, close below, but you're not holding it. You're not getting lower closes. And then here, you test it, but then you get a close below, and then this close below. That's confirmation. Then it's like, okay, then exit position, it might go lower. And yeah, so that's an interesting chart. Oh, you've enjoyed the videos lately and thumbnails. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is, but like when I did the Plug Power earnings call, that video blew up. I got tons of views, but a lot of, not too many of them counted towards like monetization, which is kind of annoying, the watch time from it. But then after that, it's just like videos were not getting picked up as much. And so it's like, well, maybe I should, it's like I've been doing the same video, like covering Fisker every Saturday or, Canoo every Sunday. Maybe I need to try to mix it up. And that's why I put the Dogecoin video out, because it's just like, I'm intrigued by that, and I want to be paying closer attention to it. And also then that's kind of the crypto world as well, which I don't really spend too much time on. But Dogecoin's one that like I love. So I'll definitely do follow-up videos on that. But yeah, it's been really weird because like I on Monday last week hit 1,000 subscribers, and it looked like, I'm going to hit 4,000 watch hours by the end of the week. but then videos stopped getting as many views. And it's like, I think I need to maybe slow down, recalibrate myself, and try to think about how I can get them more traction with the algorithms, or just maybe it's just I've been doing the same video or the same tickers over and over and I need to mix it up more. So I'm going to try to do that. Like I can go over the calendar at some point towards the end of the stream if you all are interested. What about Shiba? Yeah, so that's one that I'm pretty intrigued by as well. I have made some money on that in the past, but I think it was like a pretty small amount. I think actually I made a good amount of money on it and then didn't sell all, and then I think I trimmed some at a loss, but like net made profit. Actually, I think I probably have that over in the crypto folder over here. Yeah, Shiba Inu. Yeah, so this is one, and like for me, I try to do like cold storage when I pick up crypto. And so the ones that I have, Bitcoin, I do like weekly dollar cost averaging, not really that exciting, but that's just like, I'm thinking about that as retirement money and I'm not too worried about it. And it's a pretty small amount. And then Doge and Ethereum Classic, doing, I think daily buys, just $1. So really not that much, but I'm just thinking about like Dogecoin, that could be, I think very feasibly could be getting up to $1 since it had previously gone up to 74 cents. Bitcoin's hitting all-time highs. And, some of that money from Bitcoin might be cycling to the alts. And so like here, I mean, when do we see like this break? This was on, maybe it'd be the same week, but like this big green candle, that's on February 28th. Let's look at Bitcoin. February 28th. So, I mean, yeah, it's like Bitcoin has been leading in these 28th. Yeah, so that's actually pretty interesting. This is like, yeah, you see big move in Bitcoin on the 26th, then Doge on the 28th, and then SHIB on the 1st. What about Ethereum Classic? I don't know. Let's see, this is the 28th. But yeah, I'll just look at SHIB real quick. I think that, I don't know why I have this line drawn here. I haven't done any analysis on this. Let's see, it's probably corresponding with something. I don't know why I have that level marked. But yeah, I mean, kind of like with Doge, thinking that there's this level here right around 13 cents. Oh, and this is actually good. I'm happy to be pulling this up because I need to think about this more. But yeah, pulling back to the 50%, that's at 1645.1. It's hard to read all this change, fractions of pennies. But yeah, looks like it's holding that. So I'd look for like 1645, and hopefully we don't return to 1540. So it's like, I guess it's like, do I want to buy the dip? Maybe, if it breaks this level, if it breaks 1545, then I think it's probably coming down to 13 at that point. But I mean, maybe that could be a fake out. But yeah, I mean, I think that's going higher. SHIB, I think, could definitely go higher. But, like with this, let's see. Sorry, I keep going back and forth. But this green line is kind of based on like the high here, wick above there, wick down to it. So let's see something like that with SHIB. Maybe from like this high there, that's 2184. Yes, that's marked right. So maybe that's a level it might be pulling back to. But really, this level, what is that? 2923, is that right? Yeah, there. So we don't want to see any closes below 2923. If it does close below 2923, the next level down will be like 2492 based on the low here. And then maybe from there, it's not too far from this level, and maybe it could be going there. I don't know that I can put the volume profile up on this. Yeah, it would be nice to see. But yeah, I would think SHIB 29.23. So hopefully no closes much lower than it's at. I mean, this could be a bull flag. Let's look at Bitcoin too. This, I don't know, because it's just testing that level, 49. I don't know when I drew that purple line. That's kind of crazy. I probably drew it recently. I don't know when I drew it. But yeah, it's pulled back about 2,000 from its, almost 2,000 from its all-time high. And so we need to be getting closes above 7207.20. So yeah, I mean this, like the way that I'm, like I don't have any SHIB, but I feel like, you know, for me, Ethereum Classic and Doge, I'm all right. And the reason why I pick those is because for me, they're easy to move. Gas fees, it's like super cheap to move them and it's quick to move them. Like whereas with Ethereum, you spend a lot of money on gas fees and it takes a while to move. Ethereum Classic and Doge, super efficient, move them really fast. And the fees are like fractions of a penny. So no big deal there. And with those, it's like, well, you know, I'm fine to just stack them. If I expect Doge to go to $1, if I expect Ethereum Classic to return to, you know, 173, plenty of upside for both of those. And so I'm fine to just, you know, dollar cost average into them, small amounts, you're not worrying about it. And so like with SHIB, maybe this would come back to, is that 4? So we're dealing right now with 4 zeros. Yeah, so still 4 zeros, but to like 88.85, whatever it is now. And so, yeah, I mean, that's, let's see, how much of a move is that from current price? That's, just move this over. About 200%. Yeah, so I mean, there's a pretty nice potential swing with this. For me, I feel like, excuse me, I feel like the risk to reward is, I mean, just for returning to the all-time highs. So from current price up to them with Doge, that's a better reward. So like I'm more intrigued by Doge than I am with SHIB. Maybe, you know, and also SHIB just went up so much just recently. So that's like, whatever percentage this is, that's, yeah, it's already like ran so much. Maybe I can do it up to the high. That's probably like more than 300%, 362%. So yeah, I mean, this to me, it seems like, I mean, if you wanted to go with like one of the meme coins or like dog coins, whatever, I feel like Doge is less risky than SHIB right now. Because yeah, this is a weekly. And because, yeah, I mean, like from, you know, these lines that I had drawn here, like if SHIB returns to that second level, that's a drop of 30% with Doge. What's this over here? Dropping to that green line. Oh, I don't want a retracement. Yeah, drop into that green line, kind of the same kind of idea. That's a 21% drop. So I feel like the risk to reward is better for Doge than SHIB right now. Of course, though, the all-time highs could be eclipsed, and, you know, maybe SHIB eventually gets to a penny. So maybe there's some, you know, long-term holding, you know, thesis for that. But as far as like swing trading goes, and, you know, like if Bitcoin is to continue higher to like 80K, where would Doge and SHIB go? I think that they'd potentially go a lot higher. But if Bitcoin is putting in a top now and it's going to retrace, my understanding is it'd be coming down to like the 50, really like the 50 to 52 level, you know, where there's this consolidation here, may not be coming back to this box here. That might be a thing of the past. I've been frustrated with myself the past week because I didn't buy a bunch here. But yeah, I would have been doing it in a very stupid way, so it's good that I did not do that. And so, yeah, I mean, this could be coming back to like 52. And if that's the case, you know, I don't want to be like loading so much in whether it's Doge, SHIB, whatever it is right now, because if it does pull back, maybe it finds support here. And so maybe like, let's see, what might that correspond with as far as Bitcoin goes? That'd probably correspond with coming back to like 62.4, something like that. So maybe Bitcoin finds support there. Maybe that's a dip buying opportunity. But maybe, yeah. So, I mean, I think with all of crypto right now, because it's gone up so much, I think it's good to be thinking longer term and or just small. So that if it does drop, if it does crash, you can add. If it doesn't, then, and it keeps going higher, then you're at least participating somewhat, you know. Because like for me, I've gotten burned with crypto in the past because I just went too heavy, you know, seeing all the gains, just wanted to keep making more money. But I went in too heavy. And so now it's like, you know, I want to be in it, but not so much that, you know, if it dips, I'll never be able to fix my average. But yeah, I mean, everybody's different with this stuff, but I feel like crypto can be like really, really risky. Let's see, requests. Hey, Ricardo, what's up? Am I still in gold? I actually, so yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff that I need to catch up on. You guys have been messaging. So, okay, I'm going to add some stuff here and probably delete some tickers just so I don't forget them. So I did get, you know, Fisker request. So I'll add that. And then, Vincent, we are here to learn and share. Thank you for what you do. Appreciate it. Yeah, Vincent, I mean, for me too, like, this is all learning for me. I really like doing this kind of technical analysis, but I'm learning as I go. I know previously I was referring to wicks going up as topping tails, but really a topping tail is when the close is in the bottom quarter of that trading. And so I think that's an important distinction that, you know, so, I mean, I'm learning as well as I do this. And so I did go over SHIB. Let's see. And okay, Nikola, that's another one that I was going to do a video on them today, but I just kind of needed a break. And so I'll probably do Canoo and Nikola tomorrow because you guys are requesting them. And just because those videos do perform well. I do feel like, though, I've been covering a lot of like pretty small, low cap, like EV efficient, you know, vehicles and stuff. And like, I feel like there's so much of that. So you know, it's like they perform well, but also like in that space, it's kind of crowded. So like not all of them that are going to succeed. So I feel like they're somewhat risky. So let's see, Nikola, I always mispronounce it. And then, and SOXS, yes, I'll add that. And I saw gold, and I will do that as well. And so I'll do GLD, but then also AAAU. That's what I did have, but I just sold my position, and I'll go over why. Which is really just like kind of, you know, listening to Gareth Soloway and his justifications for things. So I'm just going to, before I get into stuff, I'm just going to delete some of these so this isn't so crowded, so I don't forget stuff. Gone over FaZe. Let's see. I haven't gone over FastLay. I need to do that. Gone over game. Gold. Canoo. I did go over Canoo, right? Yeah. So delete that. Matterport went over it. Ride. I just wanted that as an example. And Rivian, delete, and Tesla, delete. Okay, cool. And so I'll kind of go with, you know, the requests. I don't know. There's one that I think Fisker was the one that I needed to go over next. So yeah, I'll do that. So I did just put out a video on Fisker. You know, so for me with this, I've just been playing it pretty simple. It's just like, I just place a limit order. I mean, for myself, you do what works for you. Like everybody's different with this stuff. But I've just been accumulating shares based on, you know, I draw this extension. I think it's coming down. Okay, then I'll add more there. I added a little more aggressively last week because I saw like basically after earnings, I just had $43 extra. So I got an extra 100 shares at 43 cents on like the on the first, and then I saw like, oh, well, the open for that day was 42.50, but since I just added at 43, maybe I'll go a little lower. And so I think maybe it was arbitrary, I'm not sure. Or no, I'm not sure exactly. I think I was just like, yeah, 41. Maybe I saw a level during the after hours trading or something. and picked up, larger than normal shares, basically just like double what I normally do. I think I had like in increments of 100 and then like 20 shares. And so it's like, okay, well, I'll just do 180 on this dip because I can buy a minimum of 100 shares at a time. So it's like, okay, well, I'll just get that rounded up. And I like to have increments of 100 so I can sell covered calls. And so I added more at 41, and then it's like, okay, well, this low, that does seem to coincide with a bunch of these levels that are just below 37. I'll place a buy order at 38. And it's like, okay, that got filled on Friday. And so now it's just like, okay, well, I'm just going to, wait for if it comes down to 26, I'll then add another 100 shares. But if not, I think my average is like right around these levels, I think around 75. And so I've just been selling covered calls at strikes of $1. So that's up here. And so at this point, if they close in the money, I make money. I have to sell my shares at $1, but I end up making money. So that's been my strategy with this. And if I can get my average to below 50 cents, then I'll start selling covered calls with a 50-cent strike. And we can actually look over at the options chain to see what this is like. Yeah, so for this, let's see, these are calls. Okay, so for this upcoming week, $1, yeah, you wouldn't get anything for it to sell a covered call. But for the following week, you could get $1 per 100 shares. And so that's really not that much, but it does add up. Like I do this thing every week, and lately I've been making like between $50 and $70 doing this, just like selling covered calls. But at the same time, I'm able to sell covered calls because I'm holding the bag of a lot of stocks. But then if I get my average down below 50 cents, then I can start selling covered calls with a 50-cent strike, make a little bit more money. But then, with that being said, price would probably be a lot lower. And so, yeah, I think that it's quite possible there is this gap here. Hopefully, we're not going to break below 37. But if we are, I think 26 is probably likely. And maybe that's a level to add. But then it's always just like, it moves down, consolidates, moves down, so I don't know when this will end. But I feel like, with earnings being behind us, I feel like there's a lot of bad news behind us. So hopefully this can start to move higher and get up to these levels at 70 cents, $1. But yeah, I feel like for me at least, I've like committed to Fisker. So it's like, well, I don't know how many other penny stock EVs I can like really commit to because they just keep getting cheaper. I started making videos on this when it was like above $1.40 when it was trading up here, I believe. So I didn't expect it to go this low. It's kind of surprising. VLD would get a lot of views. Cool. I have a little notepad here. I'm just going to write that down. Yeah, and that's one thing that I need to do, like I need to get better at. So I've just been like, okay, this video performed well. I'm going to do a follow-up on that ticker next week. But then it's like, then the next week it's not getting as many views. So, and on that note, I know that I have other ones to cover up here. I'm going to delete Fisker. So what is up here, I'm going over. I know gold's up here. I will go over it in a minute. I'm just going to do VLD first. And so this is Velo 3D. What kind of company is this? A metal three-dimensional 3D printing technology company. The company produces a fully integrated hardware and software solution based on its laser power bed fusion technology. Its technology enables the production of complex mission-critical parts. Oh, so this is like mission. Okay, never mind. I was thinking like military applications. Yeah. Gives its customers who are in space, aviation, defense, automotive, energy, and industrial markets the freedom to design and produce parts for them. Do they? Oh, hey, Vincent, thank you so much. Wow, that's really nice. It's such a cool thing. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, like, I don't know were you saying that they're in connection with Rocket Lab? Do they print stuff for them? They just got a Navy contract. Cool. Oh, yeah. You were saying that, I believe. That this might pop. Yeah. And so Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I had looked at this and was thinking about different levels. Like, this is run up. So it's like whenever something runs, and I feel like an example of this is with Rumble. Everybody's saying it's going to 10, and then it's like, yeah, but it might be putting in topping signals. And I was early in calling some topping signals, but it has retraced a good amount. And so it is good to wait for things to retrace, but maybe this doesn't. And so, yeah, I just want to get a measurement to see like how much it's moved up from here. That's like 40%. So that's a pretty big move. And so what I could see just looking at this, it did close near the top there, but maybe it needs to cool off a bit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is late. Ooh, actually, yeah, this is cool. This is super cool. This will be a fun video. Thank you, Vincent. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do a trend line. I feel like you guys probably got to know what I'm going to do here. But so like from here, this pivot high to right here, that looks like, we extend this over. That's a neckline. Got shoulder here, head, shoulder. We broke above the neckline, but we need to retrace to the scene of the crime. We need to test that as support before we can go much higher. And so with that being said, similar to what I did with the Aquestive analysis, just doing like a measured move, measurement from the base of the head here at 1895. So right around there, I'm a little bit off, but it's just approximate. Going from there, that's a 76% move. It's only a 14-cent move, so not too crazy. But we take that measurement here, that's a 40. It's still yeah, it's crazy because it's I expected the percentage to be different. Oh, yeah. Wait, what am I? 14%, 77.85% move there. And then so coming up here, 46. Yeah, so what I would wait for is, I think that it would at least be pulling back to the highs here. And so the high on this day, 32.50. So yeah, it's kind of, I wish the cursor wouldn't like disappear when I go over the point. 32.50, so right around here. So basically, I feel like it could be, maybe it just launches, maybe it just rockets up. But I do think that, you get this wick above, and then you get a close above it. So that's good. I feel like to get into it right now, there's a risk. Maybe this is a good way to think of it. You got to manage your risk. Everybody has different risk tolerances. Maybe this pulls back, and that's a 16% retrace. So you got to consider that. And then if it does, and it tests that, then, you could go in more heavy. Or, if you don't want to risk that 16% loss, like then you just wait, but then you risk missing out. So I feel like if you have a lot of conviction in this inverse head and shoulders pattern, the Navy contract, also just their involvement in so many industries, space, military, let's see, other, they have them all listed here, don't they? Yeah, so space, aviation, defense, automotive, energy, and industrial markets. So, yeah, I think that this is pretty compelling. Market cap is pretty small. Yeah, I think that this could be really good. At least up to 45 cents, 45.20. That's basically, from my analysis, that's what I see. We do also have this gap here, so maybe that adds more to being compelled by this. So let's see the low there, 60 cents. I'm just going to adjust that. And I will definitely do a video on this, and I will also try to get the Canoo and Nikola videos out as well. It's just tough. I wish there was more time in the day. I wish I didn't have a job. I could just do this all the time. But yeah, I've needed to take some time to myself a little bit. Went for a little hike with a friend, had a nice day. And so that's 60 cents to fill that gap. And so I feel like, with this inverse head and shoulders pattern, maybe get some good news about the Navy, more news on the Navy contract, whatnot. Maybe this could be going up to 60 cents at least. Got a little bit of because of this consolidation over here, a little bit of a lip there. And also too, I mean, this has gone down so much there. Any bag holders from here probably were able to get their averages down. And so actually that might be like a compelling case for why there might be a pullback if there were to be a run up to like 45 cents, because you're just going to have bag holders from up here. Maybe they got their average down. But then also, yeah, I mean, another gap. Wow. The low, sorry, 141. Wait, that's open. The low, 140, 138. Dang it. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so I think this is pretty intriguing. I was like, when I said, I think, I looked at the chart, I had some analysis. My analysis was really just like on doing a horizontal line here. That was the extent of it. But then it's like, well, actually, that looks like it could be a head and shoulders pattern. And with that being said, though, because you really don't have any closes or opens above, let's see, what was the open on this day? 32 cents. So, the neckline could very well be 32 cents. And so maybe that is a good level to not necessarily wait for a pullback, but be able to be more aggressive on the pullback. Like if you don't want to miss out, get a small position now just to see what happens. I feel like I'm talking to myself here, by the way. Just like, what I would do. And so like I'm compelled by this chart. And so like, what would I do? I'd say, it has gone up 3.5%. I'd see what it's like in the pre-market. If it's gone up a bunch, maybe chill a little bit. Yeah, Vincent, I know you're listening, but it's like I'm just trying to just vocalize my thought process. How would I handle this? And trying to make a justification for myself. And yeah, maybe it makes sense to you guys, maybe it doesn't. But I feel like I see the neckline based on these highs as coming down to a price of like right around 31 cents, let's say, right around there. Or actually, what's interesting is we did break out, maybe this is that test the neckline. So yeah, I mean, this one, I feel like it's potentially set up to go. Like for me, I'd have to buy 100 shares of this. So I'd have to like commit 37, 38 bucks or so, considering the after hours price. If it's still at that price in the pre-market, I'd have to be willing to risk that much money. And then it's like, okay, but then if it does pull back to this neckline and kind of resides there, would I then feel comfortable adding more, getting my average down? And like with Aquestive, that was a 2-month wait before the inverse head and shoulders broke out. Would I be willing to wait for that? So I think that's a pretty important thing to be considering. But I do think, I'm just going to adjust this so it's right on the penny. 32 there. So yeah, this one's intriguing to me. Either at current price for a small position, or and then but with the plan of being heavier if it dips to 32 or lower, keeping an eye on this trend line because maybe it breaks that and maybe this gets negated. But yeah, I'm just trying to think. I don't see any divergence or anything. Maybe, you can make an argument that maybe there's some bearish divergence here or something because you have a higher high in the price and I think it would be a low that would be hidden bearish divergence, but you have a lower high in the RSI than over here. But with that being said, this could be maybe taking out this high, and then that would no longer be bearish divergence. So it would be negated by price moving up a lot. And so Your average is 34.02 for this. Nice. Yeah, I mean, if my average was 34.02 on this, like right around here, I'd want to chill, and then if it dips to 32, go in heavy. If it dips to 31, still be able to add, but then keep an eye. Maybe you want to have a stop loss below it. Like this low here is 30.50. So yeah, I don't know. Stop losses are tough. Maybe, yeah, because then it's like it breaks below that, but then you see this wick up here. You get to like a little volume shelf down here. So, yeah, and also with Aquestive, it did, you know, kind of it tested the neckline, didn't break out, I don't believe, but then pulled back and consolidated for 2 months before launching up. So, yeah, I mean, with this, that move doesn't have to happen overnight. It could take some time. And so, nameless, I have 0 females. Ulta. So I will add Ulta. Yeah, I had one. Not anymore. Let's see. And then, okay, plug power. I'm just trying to scroll up to see what everybody's requesting here. I know that I need to go over Nikola and plug power. I'll add as well. I did just do a video on them, so I probably won't have too much to add. And then, let's see. Ulta. I did add Ulta, which is Ulta Beauty. And then let's see, NASCAR. Hey, what's up, dude? I am interested in Duo for tomorrow. Is that Duolingo? Oops, I spelled that wrong. Oops, my fingers are not typing right. No, that is not Duolingo. Unless maybe it is. Yep, that's Dual with an L. Cool. Interested in dip by below $1 at the open, depending on how it holds up pre-market. Also looking for legit news catalyst in the pre-market. Think could get a really nice runner tomorrow. Okay, so before I look at let's see, Duo, I'm going to first look at, and I need to cross these off the list, otherwise I forget them. And I need to go over FSLY soon. Nameless just requested them at the beginning, and I haven't gone over them. But I will go over Nikola. I will do a video on them tomorrow, so I don't want to spoil that. I haven't looked into it at all, so this does help me. But one thing, you know, last week's video, I have got to clean this up a little bit. Last week's video, I think it was consolidating above support. What happened on Monday? We broke below that support and have been consolidating below it. So that, to me, seems like this is a bear flag, unfortunately. And let's see, a level that this could go to. I'm just going to clean these up because maybe there's a level I want to add here. It's already below the 50%, 618. It's at that, so maybe... But this, yeah, I mean, this seems like too long and drawn out to be a bull flag. And I'm looking at this on the daily. Yeah, because I feel like what's pronounced to me as this, oh man, this 786. Let's see. You know, it's like pronounced to me as this big red candle being down almost 5% on the day and then consolidating over here. So that doesn't look too good. And yeah, but I mean, a good thing about it though is like we did put in, like from this low, we have put in lower closes, but we haven't had consecutive lower closes. And really like the new low to beat is the one that was hit here on the 5th, which is at a price of 66 cents. And so we don't want to see closes below 66 cents. But I do think that, I mean, but at the same time, I mean, you have this big red candle here, consolidation, it breaks to the upside. So maybe, I don't know, I think it's good to be careful with this. But I think like the 618 here is probably good to pay attention to. 66.51 cents or 66 cents. What was the low here? The low was 66.2 cents. What was the low here? 66.2 again. So this is a lower low. So that's not necessarily looking that great, but it was a wick down. So I keep an eye out for 66.50, 66, and if it gets closes below those, I'd then look out for the 786 coming down to 62.88 cents, right around 63 cents. So yeah, I mean, I unfortunately think that this could be breaking lower. Because I mean, it broke below that uptrending level, which maybe there's not much significance to it because it's really just based on like 2 pivot points, but we did consolidate around there. Maybe what I want to do is adjust this to be, oh, damn it. I don't want to adjust that one. Let's see. Unlock this one, move this line. Maybe. Yeah, that does coincide with, I'm just going to lock that so it's in the same place for the next video, and then I can add, but yeah, well, actually, here, it's undoing stuff. Maybe I want to add that back over there. Let's see. Oh, man, crap. What happened here? I thought Well, maybe, it's more compelling getting, multiple wicks through it. I don't want that line. I want this white one. Move that up to, like, let's say the close here. Yeah, I mean, I think that this could be wicking down to the 786 at like 63. That would be my guess. So that's what I would look for. And yeah, so I'd be careful with this one. It's looking a little rough. But yeah, maybe 62, 63 would be the floor. Because then I think that, while I did have this like level here and it did look like we were consolidating around it, this trend line, it's really just based on, this is why I got screwed up. I need to adjust. Dang it. I screwed the whole thing up. 52.10 over here. There we go. It's right on the bottom there. And then I come over to here. That's now too high. So it's 58.25 is the low there. 58.25. $58.25. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe that line would be better suited up higher. I don't want the yellow. I want the white one. Move that. So that's, let's see, what's the low here? That low is 60.34 cents. 60.34. And so, yeah, I think that's intriguing to me as far as I feel like if it breaks 66.50 or 66, then it's probably coming down to 62, 60. I'd say 62. I'd feel more confident that it breaks this level and wicks below. And then maybe it finds support there, which was support here, even though we got wicks below it. Then that would be putting in a higher high as well, or sorry, a higher low, so that could be good. So that's something to keep in mind there. Any thoughts on Blink? I will add it to here. Earnings this week. Yeah, I think I saw that, and I don't have many plans to stream this week because I just stream so many earnings calls, and like I feel like I need to focus more on catching up on videos. But if this is during pre-market Blink, I'd potentially be open to streaming that. Yeah, so if you guys are interested, I'd also be interested in doing it after the fact. If it's an afternoon one, I won't be able to stream in the afternoon double bottom on the weekly with possible bull flag for BLNK. I'll take a look at it in a minute, but I do need to look over some other ones that have been requested. So I did get Nikola off there. I did also look at SFIX, so yeah, I'm going to delete that one as well. And let's see, I'm just going to do FSLY quick because this was requested at the very beginning of a stream. Did break below this. Is this the all-time low now? 13.15 is not the all-time low. Nope, very clearly. I think it's so funny. Whenever I'll be like looking at a chart and I'll be like, oh, it hit a new all-time low, but there are uptrending levels. And so it's like, no, very clearly, that is not the all-time low. Yeah, so it's had some lows. Broke below all of that. Let's see, what's something that... Yeah, I mean, it looks like maybe there's some support from really I mean, I could draw, a line right around here. I could draw a line right around here, kind of based on these lows. Consolidation there between them. And where's current price? It bounced off of that. Maybe I should have done like a box or something. But yeah, I mean, it bounced off that top level, and now it currently looks like it's being rejected or potentially rejected from this uptrend, which the bottom of that channel, which is probably pretty roughly drawn. But yeah, I guess what I could do is add an extension to this, which there might already be one. Yep, I've added a number of them apparently. And so $6, I don't think that's happening. Too much potential support with these lows. Yeah, so I mean, with this, I do think it's pretty, it's got all of these levels below it that, I'm going to try to adjust this so you can see it a little better. I don't know if this is helpful. The auto axis is so nice. Yeah, just going to zoom it like this. Okay, yeah, so looking at this, and then, it's got like these 3 levels below. One is at 1364, below current price. And then, there's a lot of this price action here below, 1326, and then really getting down to 13 or 1290, potential support levels. Yeah, and then, if it does break below 1290, let's see, what was the low on this day? 1281. Then really the next level down is right around here, 1164. And actually that does, oops. I'm going to lock that so I don't do that again. So this, let's see, I was thinking maybe something over here. Yeah, because there's this, this close right around there kind of corresponds with the lows here. And so that's right around, whoa, did I just draw that exactly at $12? The close here is at, yeah, so pretty weird that I just drew that right at $12. But yeah, then I would think that if it can't hold 1281 to 1290 or so, then it's probably going down to 12. But if it can hold those levels, and I'm going to delete, actually, I'll do a retracement first so I don't have to, so I can keep all the levels up there. And this is just going to be approximate. And I'm just going to delete some of these just so it's a little bit cleaner. Let's see, zeros, and then coming down to, yeah, I mean, I really just kind of want the low. And then the other levels do seem to be pretty complementary. So I got that low there and the high there, so those are marked. And so this, potentially if it can break above this uptrend, which may or may not be significant, it's kind of a, sloppy channel, because I didn't have it locked or anything. So I'm sure that could be, man, whoa, sorry. I'm sure that could be adjusted. Man. And, yeah, and then it looks like there was a gap around 1463. Yeah, here, so that's since been filled. So maybe I don't want to have that there anymore. But, that's probably going to suggest that there's not as much volume trade there. Yeah, so I mean, if it can get above right around 1437, if it can get back into this, above this parallel, then that could be pretty good, and then it'd start making its way to like 1615. But yeah, I don't think that this is necessarily, because this, yeah, the parallel channel that I drew is just kind of rough. It wasn't precise. Maybe that's something that I should do, but I'd have to mess around with it a bunch. Maybe I don't want a parallel channel. Maybe I just want a trend line. And then so Jose's saying Canoo's market cap dropped a ton since they announced the reverse split. I may continue to accumulate just in case it pops. Yeah, I mean, with that though, it's just like, it's I think it just gets to be pretty risky, especially if there are, like, if I'm, like, for me, if I'm covering a lot of like penny stock EV companies and they're all like downtrending just like in channels for going for a long time, I think it becomes like pretty risky when it's like a lot of things. So if I'm talking about a lot of penny stock EVs, maybe that's not like the best thing. So I think it's good to just, like, with that, and, you know, from my experience with Lordstown Motors, good to, you know, really, like, those companies can go to zero, and, or, you know, just bleed for a really long time. So good to keep an eye on that. But then if there is like a squeeze, also be ready to like trim and stuff like that. And then, so I'm going to catch up on the comments here. I think Nikola will hit 55 to 58 cents this month, but it will probably reach $1 in April or May. So I'll just pull that chart up real quick. I think I'm more or less done with FSLY, but I might come back to it. Yeah, so I'll just look at this to see what you're saying, Ricardo. What am I looking at? Nikola. Yeah, 58. Yeah, so going down to 58, that's like the back to the lows here. So, yeah, I mean, with this stuff, it's always good to just have a longer term horizon, be patient, and don't chase falling knives. So, but yeah. But yeah, I was impressed by their earnings call. I didn't know too much about them, and I knew about the Badger and stuff before and all of that. And so it's interesting to see how the company's changed. And then SWIN, I will add it, but I do need to go over some other ones first. Yeah, we did discuss SWIN. I'm happy that it went up for you. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, pretty much any of the ones that are like, oh, this might squeeze, it's like, okay, maybe I'll get a small position and see what happens. They end up going down. So I feel like it's bad luck for, like, whenever I partake in anything. But I think that's like the same with everybody. And then let's see. So I just did FSLY. I don't know that I have too much to add to it. Hopefully the levels that I went over are helpful. So I might move on to the next on here, which I might just do gold. I know that came up. And also, I think this is really interesting. I have been accumulating, you know, pretty small position, and I've actually really just gotten like antsy with it and needing money for other things. So I've been accumulating a small position in AAAU, which is Goldman Sachs physical gold, but I just closed my position. And so really what, you know, was pointed out to me by Gareth Soloway is that, you know, this is a very ugly but inverse head and shoulders. And this is like, you know, the same type of thing that happened with Aquestive. I've got to pull that up. AQST. And so with this one, you know, I said this is a beautiful inverse head and shoulders pattern. This is on the weekly. If I switch over to the daily, you know, we can see that inverse head and shoulders pattern, and then it just didn't break out, consolidated. And so this, we got a breakout, and we didn't really get a test of that. So I guess this is good word of caution as far as VLD goes. Maybe that won't be pulling back to test the neckline. Maybe it's already done that because, yeah, like here, and we got this wick up, and then we get a close well above that. And so that's just like, it's going, it's running. And so what was I just looking at? AAAU, AAAU. And so, yeah, I mean, for me, what I'm planning, and also like, I mean, gold doesn't like move a ton and stuff. And so this, I'm waiting and expecting really based on, oh, this is what Gareth Soloway's expecting. I'm going to, have faith in his analysis and, learn in the process of watching what happens. Maybe like I really just had like 3 or 4 shares, sold them on Friday, and I plan on buying them back. And probably like, I mean, gold isn't necessarily that exciting, so I don't really care to have that huge of a position. But, with this being the, let's say I'm going to do this on the weekly. Yeah, the head being here, going from the base of that head up to the neckline, that represents a, how high would that be? That would be up to here. That's just like a 22% swing, $25. So not super crazy, but I mean, it's gold. It's not a risky company or, anything like that. So yeah, I mean, I think that this could be good. So for me, if I sit out moving forward, that's fine. But if it does retrace, I think, yeah, 2063, I think I have a buy for some there, but I probably want to maybe, yeah, I mean, maybe that, but then if it does come down, then it's like, okay, then put some money in to forget about. That's not my trading money. That's just, my gold money. And yeah, looking at GLD, same pretty much exact kind of chart. I've just looked more at AAAU because it's like $22 a share, whereas this is $200 a share. And so I'd rather place limit orders on whole shares and stuff like that. And that's tougher for me with GLD. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, it's the same inverse head and shoulders pattern. So yeah, for me, I trimmed, but I do plan on, or I didn't trim, I closed, and I plan on buying back if it dips. But it might just end up being like a few to maybe 10 shares of AAAU, and then that's just like, okay, and then don't look at that and don't sweat it. Or, it might just be, add a few shares, and if it dips, accumulate more. But I feel like this was kind of like, what happened with Aquestive, testing the top and then like cup and handle here, and then a break. And then, maybe this could keep going, but it does look like maybe this is a topping signal with that big wick there. So, yeah, I will reestablish if it does pull back, but I won't sweat it if it doesn't, because I get involved in too many things, and gold's not necessarily that exciting. I feel like my longer term hold for something like that is Bitcoin. And so that is like a very slow, yeah, I mean, really like Aquestive, or sorry, AAAQ is like $20 a share. I add $10 a week to my Bitcoin, which is not very much. Later in the year when I'm, a little more sound, I'll probably increase that. But for now, it's just like $10 a week. I don't sweat it. And then I do pretty similar stuff with Doge and Ethereum Classic. Just basically, Doge, I'm now doing $2 a day, so pretty big. And Ethereum Classic is just $1 a day. And yeah, I'll up that later if I feel comfortable with it. And actually, I have been doing like $5 buys on Doge. So, really not that exciting, but I am able to accumulate hundreds of Doge, which will be worth hundreds of dollars because I think it's going to go to $1. So, and that's money I can forget about. And so, yes, I need to go over some of these. I did go over Velo 3D, so I'm just going to leave that there. So I did note it, so I can delete it. I might remove that. But yeah, I'll do a video on that. That's one to get me excited. It's not like the same chart over and over. It's nice for me to mix it up. And so, yeah, I don't know who all is still here. I see like 5 people here, so I need to go over some of these. Let's see. What's the order? SOXS is one I got earlier on. And then also VAXX. I need to go over that too. Somebody requested that before the stream. If you requested VAXX, before the stream and you're here, let me know in the live chat and I'll go over it. But yeah, SOXS. So yeah, I just did the video on this. I don't know, was it who, I think, did Ricardo ask about that? Or was it, let's see, who asked about SOXS? Yeah, it's like funny. I can't read everything. It's, so, I swear somebody asked about SOXS. Oh, Palantir. I got a request for Palantir as well. I'm missing some requests. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Yeah, I thought somebody requested SOXS, but maybe I just imagined that. So if somebody requested SOXS, please remind me. I will look over it. But I did just do a video on it, and so that should be helpful. And then so I might go over to VAXX real quick. Somebody was requesting this. I think there's like maybe rumors about early stage data for Parkinson's disease. So that's pretty good. Gains after. So this moved up a bunch, then had this dip down here. How much did it move on Thursday? Up almost 10% from, I guess, relative to the previous day's close and then to that close. AMPY for me? Yeah, I'll add AMPY over here. I got kind of a backlog of tickers though, so I'll work my way towards it. Let's see. Or actually, maybe I should just go through these a little quicker. Because I don't know that anybody's still here for, wow, I've been streaming for 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's crazy. So yeah, I will go through these quickly. And so I might just go down the list. AMPY, wow, okay, this seems risky to me. Was this around, okay, Coast Guard says no oil sheen seen off California after spill. Oh, did they have a spill? Amplify Energy Corp reports results for quarter ended December earnings summary. So yeah, it seems like a pretty big red day, down 17, almost 18%. Maybe there's some support around with all of these lows and stuff over there. And yeah, current price is below that. So maybe over here, no, still maybe over here. My thoughts on Baba. Ah, man. Oh, there's so many tickers. So yeah, with this, I mean, given that it just went down 17.73 cents in one day, and that, let's see, what's this article say about the oil spill? There's an oil spill. What's this have to do with Amplify? Amplify Energy said on Friday in a statement that it had indication that the sheen was related to its operations. So yeah, it looks like there's an oil spill. A subsidiary of Amplify reported a potential spill of produced water from its offshore platform off of Huntington Beach on Friday, according to a regulatory filing, causing the company to shut down a pipeline. Yeah, so I mean, maybe that, so shore cleanup teams continue to observe tar balls along the beaches in Huntington Beach and will continue to remove them, as the agency said, adding that they had already removed about 800 pounds of oily waste and tar balls. So, I mean, this seems like, I mean, maybe there's like a recovery, forum and stuff, but let's see. I'm going to take a step back. Yeah, current price is above there. Maybe there's an uptrend from these lows. This is probably too steep, so I will move it to here. That actually, I think that looks pretty cool. You know, fake out here, acting as support, and then this bad news. And so I think that it needs to get back above this uptrend, which would really be like reclaiming, really getting up to like 585, somewhere around there. But yeah, seems risky, and it's also, you know, around this bad news and stuff. So yeah, I guess those are my thoughts on that. I see somebody said something about my mustache. Hey, mister, I appreciate your mustache. Thank you. I've just been growing it this year. I was just going to do it for January and see how it goes. And then it's like, okay, well, January's passed. I'll do it for February. And my goal is by the time February's over, the channel will be fully monetized. Then I'll shave it. And then over the course of February, it's just kind of like, I kind of like it. Yeah, I hope that analysis was helpful regarding the oil spill and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I would think, though, that it needs to reclaim the level up here. And also it could be, maybe there's, maybe a whale or something washes up on the beach in a week. And then it's just like bad press. So that could cause, you know, more downside. And then this could potentially be a falling knife. Let's see. I'm actually, before I go over to another ticker, I'm just going to do a measurement from right around the low here to right around the high. And so, yeah, I mean, it closed in the upper half, so I guess that's good. But still, it's, you know, 17% down. And maybe, you know, this is suggesting that it was an overreaction. Really, like a good dip buying level would have been at like 360. But yeah. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on that. I'll switch over to Blink. Somebody's saying, yeah, they've got earnings coming up. So, I mean, what do you guys think? I'm going to do this on the channel, and you guys can let me know. I'm going to go to the community page, and you guys can vote in this. This is, but wait, I should go to see when it is. I believe it's pre-market, but maybe I'm wrong. Blink earning, investor relations. And so this will say something about when their earnings call is. This is a way that I found it's best to find out about them. Blink charging to host fourth quarter year-end results call on Thursday, March 14th. And so this is to be following the close. So I will not be able to stream it, but like I will not be able to stream it live, but I could stream it Friday morning. And so I will, let's see, should I stream the BLNK earnings call on the morning, of the morning after the call on March 15th at, let's see, what time would I want to do that? I could do it at, let's see. Yeah, I don't know what's like too early for people. I'll just leave it at that. And then this will be a poll. And so and don't care. And so maybe I should set a time now. I think that for me, a good time is like, I don't, maybe this is too early. 7:30. Wait. No, I'm thinking my time. So 8:30. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of the time. I want to do it kind of an odd time, so 7:30. Yeah, that'd be 6:30 for my time, and then that would give me enough time to stream and go over the chart. AM Eastern. So, and you can also comment if that's too late, but let me know what you think about that. And I don't know what just happened there. Hopefully, I was able to successfully post that. I don't know why a video started playing. Yep, so yeah, you guys can vote in that and let me know. Yeah, so it'd be, we wouldn't be watching it live and stuff, but we could do it. Yeah, Thursday after market, it sucks. I don't like working in the afternoons, but it's nice to have mornings to, see what's going on in the market before stuff happens. But yeah, Blink, let's see, earnings call. I don't know when I drew this, probably around when this point was drawn. So that's I guess like 9 months ago. Crazy how time flies. I don't know. Yeah, weird. Because I wasn't really too involved in the market last year, so I'm just surprised that I drew this here. But yeah, weird. Oh, well, actually, no, I might have drawn it after, but it does look like it's broken out of that wedge, and maybe that's something significant. It does look like it's kind of ugly, but it does look like this could be an inverse head and shoulders. Oh, so like coming from here to there, but I probably need to, yeah, that could be an inverse head and shoulders. And so I find that to be intriguing. But it might have, get into resistance around like 360 or something. Like maybe it breaks out, but then it gets into resistance here, or, just has a tough time getting above that level. And then it pulls back to then test the top of the channel before then going higher. But then because it's angled, I think it makes it a little more difficult for the head and shoulders pattern to play out. But also, I mean, there is like a double bottom here, triple bottom, I guess. This, though, could then be a descending triangle. And so those tend to break to the downside because, it's like double bottom, it really get another tap on that floor. And then if, let's say, I mean, this could be a bull flag too. But if it's not able to break out, if it's not able to get above these highs, then it could be legit like forming a descending triangle, and then you get another test of this level, and that just weakens it, and then it just continues to bounce until it breaks. So I think maybe this could be breaking out. Maybe this is an inverse head and shoulders. But if this gets rejected, if it can't break up to 360, then I think that this is a descending triangle, and then this is probably to break lower. So good to be cautious with that. But I mean, I would hope for a breakout, or maybe, I'd look for confirmation of breakout and then go with it. Because it might break down, or, if you want to go with the hope that it's going to break out, and then just be prepared that if it does come down to here, it's probably going lower. So there's something to consider there. And it is, let's see, been doing this for 2 hours, crazy. So I'm just going to go down this list. And so Duo, let's see. Oh yeah, I think it was NASCAR asking about this. Let's see. I don't know who was asking about this. I spend too much time on these two. Okay, yeah, so it was NASCAR, yep. I'm interested in Duo for tomorrow, interested in dip buy below $1 at the open, depending on how it holds up. Also looking for legit news catalyst in the pre-market. Think we could get a really nice runner tomorrow. And so, so looking to below $1. Okay. And so this, let's see. Yeah, I don't know how much I can offer on this, but it does look like maybe I just want to draw a channel or something there. Maybe that's a better thing to do. So maybe from and so yeah, it's in the top part of that channel. And yep, and then it's also, you know, been having this support here. So I guess, yeah, like that's, damn, 50 cents. Oh, because after hours, I need to look at this in the after hours. That's crazy. It's like, what? Why is this so low? Okay. So you're looking to do the 10-minute time frame. You're looking to dip by around $1, which is, let's see what the high of this first candle is, $1. So yeah, I mean, that seems reasonable. Yeah, with it at 150, and then, yeah, so if this is your style, this could be pretty exciting. Yeah, like pretty much all the ones I either took a small profit and then they went up a lot, or it's just like, well, I'll wait for a big profit and then they go down. Yeah, $1 could be a fun play. And so let's see. 80% plans to real estate. Yeah. And so how much is this up in the pre-market? 91%. Yes, that's a pretty big, almost 92%. That's a pretty big run up. So pretty risky at this point. But if this is your style, if you're used to trading stuff like this, maybe $1 is a good dip buying level, as that does correspond with the high here. But then maybe, I don't know. I don't follow stuff like this well enough to know how it might trade. But yeah, I guess I'll put an alert at $1 for myself. And I'll probably not pay attention to it because I don't always pay attention to my alerts. But if it does hit below $1, I will be cheering you on, NASCAR. Okay, and so I see that there are only a couple people left here, and I will try to continue down. Plug power, I did just do a video on this, so I'm actually going to skip it because I've been kind of running behind. SWIN, SWIN, I need to do that. And so with this, I'm going to switch over to the daily, and let's see. This looks like a bearish engulfing candle. Did run up. Yeah, oh, so yeah, NASCAR was saying you said you're tired on plug? You're tired of plug? Are you, Vincent, are you holding? That's one that I can switch over to it real quick. Yeah, I think I just put out, suggested that it might be putting in some topping signals here. So it might be pulling back. With this one, this looks like a bearish engulfing candle, but I think NASCAR was really just pointing out that we had chatted about this in a previous stream, and it went up to 66. Yeah, so that's pretty impressive. From, I imagine that I drew this, around when the high was there, yeah, and that has just, so let's see from this level, how much did it go up? Got to get a measurement. 389%. Then closing at 248, and now it's at 107% from there. Pretty crazy. Yeah, dang it, I didn't partake in that one. Yeah, so NASCAR and then somebody else who joins More Money, I believe, they always request things that squeeze up a bunch or have the potential to squeeze. And I don't necessarily, I might be in positions that end up squeezing, but I'm not actively looking for something that's squeezing. So I don't really know how the dynamics of them work. It's could be a little stressful, especially if you're buying when it's already run up so much. Yeah, because like even over here, that was up from these lows already 400%. So that seems like a risky time to be buying. But, you know, it was not. So yeah, that's cool. I think this stuff's interesting, but I don't really partake in them, but it's a crazy one. Then I'll also look at Ulta, and then I'll close with VAXX, I suppose. This one, let's see. This looks like it's a double top. We did put in a higher high. This is on the daily. And there's this big gap to the downside. Let's see. Oh, okay, so the earnings are coming up. Yeah. What does this company do? Their beauty display. Conducts its business as a specialty beauty retailer. The company operates specialty retail stores, which are engaged in selling cosmetics, fragrance, hair care, and skincare products. Stores also feature full self-service salon at stores, e-commerce website, and mobile applications. Offer approximately 25,000 products across various categories. So yeah, I mean, I kind of wonder if this is, maybe it's not the right, like, I don't know, economic environment for this. And so maybe this is like a double top there. Yeah, ooh, and actually because it did get a higher high, you know, that gets people thinking like, ooh, but it hit a higher high. I'm intrigued by that. But let's look at the RSI. This is a higher high in the RSI relative to over here. Or in the price, it is also higher over here. So yeah, there's no bearish divergence there. If we look at this on the weekly, this is, yeah, it's no bearish divergence. So, but yeah, also, if I do a measurement from here up to here, maybe that's like a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. Maybe this could still run more, like to 100, to like 590 or 600. But I feel like with earnings coming up and this being near, this is the all-time highs, right? So I'm just going to do, yes, this is pretty close to the all-time highs. So yeah, with it being so close to all-time highs and potentially having just hit a double top, maybe this is, I don't know, a cup and this is the handle, and maybe it will break above and get higher. But I feel like just being up this high, it's kind of risky. And also with this gap to the downside, like filling that gap, excuse me, would be coming down to like over 20%. So this one seems a little risky with earnings coming up. I mean, I feel like I'm terrible at getting an idea of how things will respond following earnings. And so let's see. I see that there's one other person still watching. Maybe that's true. And so it says concurrent viewers. So yeah, I guess that's just one person. So with VAXX, this is tough. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. This has gone lower. It's forming lower lows, wick lower. Cool. I appreciate it, Vincent. I'll probably end soon. I'm getting kind of tired. And I should, you know, wake up to start putting out some videos. Maybe I'll do Canoo and VLD. I'll try to do those tomorrow, and maybe I'll get in Nikola and then just kind of working forward with my backlog. But yeah, I went for a little hike with a friend, caught up with a friend that like I hadn't seen in a really long time. So had a nice day. Didn't make too many videos. Yeah, it's tough though because it's like I want to be making these videos because I'm seeing the channel grow and I want to keep pushing that. But it's like, but at some point I have to find a balance between maybe I can't do the same ticker every single week, but maybe I can do it every other week and just try to make those videos better and more informative. And then maybe that's better for the algorithm and, you know, returning viewers looking forward to a couple weeks in advance rather than just every week only going over an additional 5 candles. But yeah, this did get, I don't know if it's double top. Let's see if there's any divergence here or anything. Maybe look at this on the weekly time frame. This is higher lows and lower lows here. So that is, excuse me, that is bullish divergence, but, you know, that could just be this, you know. And so let's see. I think that levels that it will have to contend with if it does go higher. Got these like double bottom here. And that does, yeah, I mean, I can adjust this a little bit because those are wicks to the highs over here. It doesn't really line up with over this part, but yeah, I mean, even with that, maybe I could do a trend line here to there. I don't know how. It's not perfect. I didn't do it based on the low here, but maybe this is acting as support. But I mean, if maybe a channel would be useful, even though it like breaks above it. Yeah, it's not really too useful. But I mean, like the bottom half of that channel, I don't know, probably not too useful. But yeah, maybe this. Okay, maybe there's something here. I'll do this. I don't think there's going to be anything here. I'm just going to do it to start. No. Okay. I think that's probably some hopium. I don't think there's anything there really. But, I mean, there have been wicks above, but no closes above that level until over here. And so yeah, this kind of reminds me of what happened with Biora, because it was kind of, you know, falling wedge and a channel, and it hadn't really broken out of them. And this is just like, but yeah, I mean, you've got this. This is a little bit hand wavy because you got these wicks sticking out. But yeah, maybe there's something there. It might be good to like connect the lows here and see, like, rather than have this go so far out, maybe just connect the lows over here. And maybe that's, you know, maybe that's something of interest. Okay, so I got some more comments. I'm surprised people are still tuning in because I've been doing this for 2 hours and 13 minutes, but happy that people are enjoying this. So I will add, I'm thinking about responding in the comments, but I don't need to, and you're asking, do I have a video on, is it EVC? I do not, but I'll look over that one, EVC, and then also run, can do an update on that. Yeah, I think I did the video on run and it wasn't terribly popular. And this is the weekly time frame. Yeah, I wonder where price was when I did that video. Vincent, I really appreciate the super likes. It definitely means a lot because yeah, that's just like a new feature. It's really cool to see. So I really appreciate it. Um, and so, yeah, would you like me to do a video on EVC, Entravision? Whoa, to be honest, I don't know that I'd feel comfortable doing a video on this one with that big drop. And it's just like, this is, yeah. Well, let's see. This red candle, that first red hammer that we see, doesn't look that crazy. Um, but like, what percentage drop do you think that is? 50%, because this giant gap. That's crazy. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe there's, I don't know what the history of the chart is. There's some potential, I guess, with, maybe, no, that's not going to catch it. But let's see, maybe, yeah, okay. I don't think all the levels are on this, so I gotta add them in. But really, I'm just interested in one. Yep, so well below that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is probably coming down to like, is that a dollar? I think this could be coming down to $1. Because, it's not that much, but you do have this consolidation over here. And so I think that could start to act as support. Which is, yeah, I mean, I guess that's right around where price is currently. But it seems to me like, yeah, this candle, let's see, is 60% for that week. So that seems like a risky one. Yeah, I mean, just like for me, it's like if something goes down a lot really fast, like this is like it's already going down. It's still going down. Like it did bounce initially, but then it just continued down. I think what you need to see is like some sign that it's like, yeah, I mean, this is like, here maybe it's a hammer candle, maybe it's going to go back up. And then the next day you get a close lower than that low. And then the next day you get another close lower than that low. So I think what you need to see with this is like Monday, maybe it's green on Monday. Maybe it moves up and closes above the high here. And then I think that would be, maybe an indication that, oh, this is going up higher. But if this trend continues, I mean, it might very well. And then if you get a close tomorrow below 144, then it's just like, yeah, I mean, this is while it's a slow falling knife relative to the big drop here, it's still a falling knife. And so I think you need to see at least a close at not surpassing the previous low, which is, I understand, not the, let's see, all-time lows, but in this cycle or whatever, in this part of the downward movement, you want to see some sign that this is starting to go back up. And I mean, even just one thing that's just like a little bit good is just seeing a close tomorrow that would be higher than 144. And then it's like, okay, maybe that's a good sign, but we still have these other closes to the upside that we need, or these highs to the upside that we need to be closing above. And so I think that you really need to like wait for that to see confirmation. Then it would go higher. And I think the tricky thing about that is like you see, oops, I don't want this. I want the measurement tool. You see like, oh, I could buy at like 140, let's say like 150, and then going up to fill that gap. That's 140% increase. That's a great swing. But really, I mean, this could just continue down, and then your average is here, and maybe it doesn't end up getting enough momentum to get back up there. And so really like waiting for it to actually get a couple closes above this, that's still an 87% swing. Even if, it's from this level, that's still a 37% swing. Although the odds of a pullback here are higher, so it's a little riskier in that sense. But there's still, this could still just continue to go red. And it could, continue, like even if it has a green day Monday, if it's not breaking above these previous daily highs, then it's like, well, I mean, still, it's just in this kind of like downtrending channel. Even if you get a green candle or green day, it could still just be continuing down. So I think it's pretty risky right now. And so I'd look for, maybe I'll put an alert here and I probably won't be paying attention to it. But let's see, what's the high over here? 187. So I'm going to put an alert at 190. And I think that is like, then maybe it's too late, but maybe it's also not too late. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe then that's the top and it's going to pull back. I don't know. It's tough to know. But if it does look like they're showing strength, even if it's like, yeah, I mean, like up here, you still got plenty of upside to fill that gap. So, and so, yeah, EVC, ex-dividend date near these EV stocks. CommScope holding and other stocks under $2. Insiders are buying. Insiders are buying EVC. Let's see. Acquired a total of 100,000 shares at an average of 167. To acquire these shares, it cost around 167,000. So that's really not that much money. Like as far as CEOs go. And so I think, I'm reading this book, One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. And I'm reading it very slowly. I'll eventually do a book review on it. But he is talking about like, when you see CEOs, when you see the highest people in the company buying shares, doesn't really mean that much because, I mean, they're compensated so well. They have to be buying tons and tons of shares for it to really be meaningful. But what you want to see is people who are, lower in the rankings. If they're buying shares, that means that they really believe in it. And they don't have tons of money like a CEO does to just, I'm going to put the money in the company because it looks good. I'm an insider buying. But really, I mean, it's like no expense to me because I'm already like a multimillionaire or whatever, so no big deal. So when the CEO is buying $170,000 worth of shares, that's really not that much money. But yeah, I mean, we could look at the analysis and see, this is from 2 analysts, buy and hold, and their price estimates are 175 to 350. So yeah, maybe there's something there, but I think that I'd want to wait for it to, maybe here, and then I'll put in an alert to the downside. Oh man, I want to be able to edit that. Dang it. So I got to edit it over here. So cumbersome. Below, I'll do 140. Well, yeah, I'll do 140. Because the low is 144, is that right? Yeah, so maybe it continues lower. I'll get alerted if it does. And then, so yeah, run. I'll look over that a little bit more critically, sorry. But yeah, this seems to me like this could be a bear flag. Big red candle here, down almost 18%. Sideways consolidation. We have a high here of let's see, February 29th, a high of 1266. And we have not been able to close above that. And we've gotten higher wicks above that and can't get higher closes. So I think that this looks, unfortunately, bearish. And I feel like I maybe suggested it in that last video that I did on it. And maybe that's why it wasn't that popular. Bearish videos are never that popular. I don't know why. Because then I think it's like, okay, well, then I can prepare to add more on a dip. Or, maybe I want to cut losses at some point and then I can reestablish lower, I don't know. If all stocks went up, that would be an easy game, but that's not how it works. And so here we have lower highs. This is about flat. So maybe that's some hidden bullish divergence, or no, it's a weak bullish divergence, but then also we see this rally up, and so maybe that's it. Yeah, so I'd be cautious with this. I do think that this could be testing where I have this alert here at 11:16. Yep. So I'd be careful with it. And yeah, because then that could come down to, yeah, and we could actually do, let's see, I'll do a retracement from this run up just to see, because it's kind of been, I'd expect maybe this is the 618, this is the 38, the 236, this is the 786. We'll see. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But this pulled back from this high to the 618, then went up to the 236, and then now it's at the 786. Ah, that's cool. Fibonacci's are fun. You draw them enough times and you just like, yeah, it's probably respecting these levels. But yeah, it does look like it potentially is being rejected now from the 618. And so if that's the case, this does look like, I mean, you could think of this as just like, this is, downtrend, and then this is like sideways consolidation. It's pretty upsloping, which, tends to break to the downside, broke to the downside, and then same thing again. So I think that this could be heading down to around $11. So those are my thoughts on that one. Okay, yeah, well, I'm intrigued by Vincent. I'm intrigued by VLD, so I'll probably have a video out on that tomorrow. But during pre-market, I might do GOEV just because, the split and people might be curious about that. But yeah, I feel like the penny stock EVs, I should, not like some of them, may squeeze. People make a lot of money and the companies are successful, but not all of them are going to be successful. And it just makes me, from my experience investing in Lordstown Motors, I feel like I should not do so many videos on those. Just because they're risky. Because, yeah, starting a car company is expensive. I think there are definitely compelling things about Canoo and about Fisker. And for me personally, I'm just I'm invested in Fisker. So that's one I'm, I guess, a little more intrigued by following up on, even if it is really risky. That's a risk I'm partaking in. Whereas GOEV, it's like, I don't want to give people hope if it's just bleeding, or, or I don't want to discourage people if there is hope. So yeah, it's tough. But yeah, I think I've gone over pretty much all of these. I'll try to put timestamps on them, but I'm probably going to go to bed soon. So I might do that in the morning. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out. I'm just going to put up this like and subscribe thing. I know that you guys probably already have liked and subscribed to the channel, so I do appreciate it. And I'm just going to try to be focusing on videos over the course of the week. And then I might do a live stream of the Blink earnings call on Friday morning. But I may just, more or less just focus on videos during the week rather than live streaming. Unless I feel like I'm caught up, maybe I'll stream on Wednesday or maybe Thursday during market hours, unfortunately, like around open. But that's the time that I have to do it. But yeah, I mean, it's been a fun stream. I'm surprised I've been going for 2.5 hours, and I appreciate you guys hanging out. And I think that by the time I do the next stream, this will be the next ticker request live on Sunday. I think the channel will be fully monetized, meaning I'll be making a little bit of money from ads, which I think is just going to be like $100 a month. So nothing too crazy. But oh, sweet, thank you. Yeah. I always try to share links to this on Twitter and videos, whatever, and some people get involved and others don't. But I've definitely been, I've been more active on Twitter and been having more engagement with people, so that's been fun. But yeah, I think I'm going to get ready for turning in for the night, and I'll have at least Canoo and GLD videos out tomorrow. I'll try to also do Nikola. I know I also need to do ChargePoint, which I was going to do on Saturday, but that's also one that I doesn't always perform that well, and I think it's really just like I need to give more time between my analyses just to, you know, make it a little fresher. So I'll do that later in the week. But yeah, I think also I was going to do Neo and I don't think Baba. Ooh, somebody requested Baba and I didn't go over Baba. Nameless asked Baba. I assume Nameless is no longer here. But yeah, dang it. I'll have to do a follow-up on Baba at some point. But yeah, thank you all for hanging out. It's been really fun. Hopefully I went over most, if not all, of the tickers you guys requested. And yeah, I'll put out some more videos tomorrow, and I'll post another stream at some point. Hopefully to do ticker requests live during market hours, maybe on Wednesday. That might be fun. But yeah, other than that, you know, I'll see you guys later. Hope you have a great start to the week. And yeah, hopefully it's a great